Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NLC. We're getting ready to go into our first game of week 4 here. We're carrying on with the crossplay as it is Resolve versus Galaxy Racer. Galaxy Racer over in Group B are standing at 3-3 right now, while Resolve are 2-4 over in Group A. Obviously, we've talked about how A is for excellent, so they are technically in the harder group. Jamada, give me your thoughts on this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Galaxy Racer, it's about obviously just kind of saying, okay, we're not this coin flip 50-50 team. We can maybe, like, for me, I look at Resolve, right? And I'll set the point up a bit backwards here. I think Resolve have looked really good in the early game on a pretty consistent basis, despite their score, right? At the start of the split, they could have realistically sort of taken down, BTXL, the other top teams in, like, Tricked and SNG as well. But it was kind of their own doing where they kind of kicked themselves and tripped. So I think for them, taking down a team like Galaxy Racer should kind of be the standard for a team like this, in my opinion, on pre-expectations. But Galaxy Racer, they need to be able to, probably weather the storm if Resolve come out in a strong manner they do in the early game, and then sort of out-team fight Resolve.
Alrighty, well, we're into picks and bans. The Fresh, the Lee Sin, the Karma, the Gwen, and the Lulu all banned away. So our final ban will be coming through. Still got a fair few power picks open. We've got the Akali. We've got things like the Ezreal. I talk about this every time we get into picks and bans, but there are so many power picks open right now. And I think it's over to Galaxy to kind of go, which one do they want to give to Resolve as their first pick here?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see a Gwen ban on the blue side because it just shows, that Kalim doesn't want to play it. Because I think it's worthy of a first pick. But I don't really think Kalim's been like. I would like to see it focus more to Chu. Like you just give him, you play around team. If you want to lock in that Ezreal, I mean, you can also answer with Varus. Like there's two very strong AD carries open, and just I think Resolve get most success when they play through Archu. We'll see how the draft develops. That's just going to be a first pick Renekton.
Blind pick. It's a flexible pick as well. See what Galaxy Racer will kind of want to answer out with here, because like you said, things like the Ezreal, the Varus is open. We've seen a kind of rise in the Kalista as well as a kind of counter pick to some of the bot laners. It does look like probably we are just going to see the Akali here for Tibor. Rumble as well has been open. I'm talking hovers, so I'm going to shut up. Yeah, there's the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, the Renekton pick can dissuade like super early Akali picks just because Renekton can kind of manhandle the Akali in lane and sort of keep the scaling curve as shallow as possible for as long as possible. I think here for Galaxy Racer going down the Rumble plus Leonora at the same time, it makes sense for, the previous couple of weeks. Foxy, I'm mentally making that face in my head. Since our Akali is quite the strong topside lock-in.
Yeah, it really is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like seeing Renekton, Xin, and Akali as like your first 3 picks it's not bad at all from the side of Resolve. Personally, and this is just why I'm sitting here, not where Caracal Jr. is. I think Ez would have been such a good pick here because you're going up against the Red Carpet, the Leona. If you pick something that has low mobility, you're going to not be able to play League of Legends this game as an AD carry. You may as well pick one of the power picks in Ez and also something that can just hop around and stay at range. So, but they've gone for, like Joanna said, like that is a ridiculously strong top side. Zin's going to win pretty much any fight that he gets into early game, and then you've just got 2 really solid solo lanes to play around as well. And there's the Ez ban, so Archu's not going to have fun on that one today.
Varus as well. Next
yeah, so this is what I was going to say. I think if you're Resolve, you kind of want to remove like some of the strong side bots as well, because I think at the end of the day, you're probably going to end up with a pretty, not necessarily like bad matchup, but not necessarily a matchup that you can immediately play through and get success when you've drafted for the top side straight out of the gate. And I think for Galaxy Racer, they don't necessarily have to focus down another AD carry ban unless they're sort of targeting something on a pure matchup to matchup basis. I think knowing that you're dealing with Renekton plus Akali, you can just kind of pick another solo laner here, something that flexes. I think Resolve might have to remove away the Lucian just because then you're dealing with 2 lanes which should theoretically get priority. And on top of that, having the Rumble there, once Rumble gets past the phase of not having Equalizer and hits that level 6 mark, Lucian, Jace plus Rumble can be kind of scary, but then you look to Resolve top side anyway. So it's not like the answers are going to be poor. Resolve actually go down the other AD solo laner out of Tristana though, so at least on the same page there. And let's see what Galaxy Racer are going to lock in, because they probably
Kog'Maw.
No, I don't think
Kog'Maw's open. It's a month special.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think, blind top. Well, I say blind top. Safe top into Renekton is definitely the right choice here. Yeah. A lot of team fighting out of the Gnar. and it's something that Kakan usually performs really well on as well.
Yeah, this does mean as well you're going to have some pretty good lanes for Rumble to kind of play a bit safer against the Xin. You're not going to be constantly invaded by being stuck in your own jungle, that kind of stuff. It's going to be the Kai'Sa lock-in for Achu. Hasn't played Kai'Sa yet this split. He's played unique champions every single game. 6 games, 6 champions. It's now going to be 7 games and 7 champions. Kai'Sa, Rel bot side. It's a lot of going forward here for both teams in that bot side.
Yeah. I'm glad to see the red as well, actually, because I was a bit worried that there wasn't any like solid engage on the side of Resolve, and now Rel can kind of jump in, get that Magnet Storm off, and that's a nice pair up there. Now, they actually have picked up a Lucian bot lane for Monk. We saw Monk play this at least a week ago, I believe, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and he actually went for that old Lucian build where you go like...
Yes.
Blade of the Ruined King Cleaver, if I remember right. So he has a bit of a wacky build here, but I'm going to throw this to you, Jamada. What are our win conditions going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I think Resolve technically have like 3 lanes. Once Chimera hits level 6 and he's got perfect execution to kind of play around and skirmish with. I wouldn't be too surprised to maybe see Resolve try to set up some kind of map split somewhere if they can get it, just because Rumble is such a weak level 1 champion. But I think with the matchups, it's going to be a bit difficult. But in terms of conditions, I think probably setting Caleb ahead, potentially allowing Archer to definitely try and get as 3 lanes as he can. But Lucian Leon is going to be a tough one. And for Galaxy Racer, I think wherever Jackie can, where Jackie can attack is probably the mid lane and the bottom side. And maybe, I think both these teams have 3 lanes where they can probably play around. It's just depending on when the junglers actually sharpen the lane states.
And I think this is going to be a really snowball heavy game. Like whoever gets a lead early, whoever can jump forward and win the fight, they're just going to go for it, and there's not much the other team can do. So yeah, this could be a pretty explosive one.
Well, when you're queuing up into your games on EU West, you might run into a pair of these casters. One, you go, oh, that's the LPL caster. The other one, you go, oh, that's the LP Lost caster. Going over to Viperoon and Ghoulborg. See you in a bit.
That's so toxic.
Bro, I am new. Like, what is this kind of flame coming in immediately? Hello, everyone. This is NLC. I'm Viperoon. First time here. Hopefully I don't get flamed too much by my lovely co-caster. You've seen him on every pro broadcast at this stage. Ghoulborg, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very, very good. I'm back onto my home court here, and hopefully we got some lovely Rails games to go through.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We've got 5 massive performances, but we've got Resolve coming in first against Galaxy Racer. They started me in easy. Resolve, a team I've cast just so frequently in all the UK leagues up until this point, and Galaxy Racer also looking pretty decent out of the blocks here. But what do you make of these 2 drafts? We heard the desk, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I think it's very clear that one of these comps have a pretty clear stylistic when we take a look onto what Resolve's composition. You got backline dive on backline dive on backline dive on backline dive, basically. All we see there is stockpile. We see a composition that quite clearly spikes around the 1 to 2 item power spikes with the Akali, with the Kai'Sa, with the Sensao. Like all these champions, like it's easy to play their composition. On the other hand, when we take a look onto Galaxy Racer's composition, I think we need to take a look onto a bit more of this snowball potential. Specifically, when you lock in this Lucian for Monk, this is a champion that we have seen him on before. But if you do not perform well in laning phase, if you do not get that lead, you will get outscaled. And there's a lot of people on the side of Resolve that'll make easy use of just destroying you in the backline. So from the side of Galaxy Racer, a bit harder to play. Need to make it work in the early game to kind of put themselves in a favorable position in the mid game. And for Resolve, you just want to go even. You want to get to a point where you can just take control over these team fights.
We found ourselves on it to the Rift, and this is what I love to hear because I don't want to see teams scaling. That's boring. Fight all the time. And something that I want to highlight a little bit, because NLC, first time on, they decided we'll give you something easy. Resolve, you know the team. And from Galaxy Racer's side, Timor is a player who I've stalked over here from the Baltics last season, was on Ghost Skiller, who won that region, went to European Masters. I heard Trouble Inc., also an alumnus of the Baltic region, talking about how great this Galaxy Racer mid-jungle duo has been. And this is all about Tibor. The guy is absolutely insane at building priority and winning lane. But when you're against Chimera on Akali, that might not be so easy.
So here's the thing about the matchup with the Jason to the Akali, and which I really like here, is that you don't really have, you do have some sort of kill pressure, but it's on the Akali really if you die. But what you do have is infinite priority almost. It's very easy to get mid lane priority in the Jace matchup. Later on to the side lane, the Akali will get kill pressure again. But what we need to take a look at is what Tibor is going to be using his early priority on rather. Because I'd love to see him just keep that pressure in towards the mid lane, used that pressure and applied down to the bot lane. So when the first full clear has come through from Jakey, I'd love that those two as a duo, you talked about yourself there, the jungle to mid duo, would be able to get the mid lane pressure and then just transfer it down to bot lane. See if you can set something up onto Ashu. Despite him having cleanse, if you bring 4 members, should be enough to work with the priorities. So that's something Resolve needs to be a bit careful with. Defensive vision, especially after the first clear, is going to be key for this team comp.
And you talk about cleanse. If we've got Monk and Wendelbro doing well, actually, it's going to be the engage coming through from the Resolve bot lane first and foremost. They hit level 2 first, and the damage comes down. Leona chunked out, but no kill pressure just yet.
No, but it's certainly some good damage just being down, like you get you some sort of pressure, and at the same time, OS is still going.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a scrap, but again, there's no kill pressure onto Monk, but Galaxy Racer's bot lane need to be careful about that, because another one of those, and you could go down.
Yeah, the thing is that we take a look onto the jungle path, and right now Jakey is making his way up towards the top side of the map, whereas right now Soph is making his way down towards the bottom. Now, the dive or the setup with the waves are not really there for a specific dive, so what we're most likely going to be seeing is just a full clear from Soph, unless he wants to get something done after the scuttle has been taken. You can actually see the bot lane of Resolve right now is moving up towards the mid lane, and they're not spotted on wards just yet, I believe, but they will be backing off either way.
No, they haven't been seen, just going to be helping out Soft grab of that Scuttle Crab, going to be able to help him break through the shield with the Rel, and they're going to go for a quick early reset. Getting the priority in bot side has allowed them to do that, so a little bit of respite for Galaxy Racer, and those Scuttles will be traded with Jakey getting it on the top side.
Yeah, but I like this. We talked about full fast clear, then just reset, get ready for the next clear with the junglers and Jakey. As soon as he was done with that Scuttle, no need to hover around mid, no need to hover around top, just needs to get himself out of the map with new items as soon as possible. And you can see right now, no camps are up and available for him, but he's making his way down towards that bottom side of the map. And what is also more key, you remember we talked about that early vision? Take a look onto Galaxy Racer's jungle right now, because wards are lit in the river and towards the Grom to spot off Jakey if he should be around.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get down and about that bot lane, but no ganks just yet. The junglers don't seem too interested, just going to be clearing out, getting themselves a little bit of cash. But is it bot side that we really want to be focusing on for this first play? Because if Rumble realizes that there's vision, is there somewhere else he could go?
So here's the thing, like stylistically with the composition for Rumble, you are playing towards the top side of the map. When you see your Jays, when you see the Gnar, so yes, certainly you can walk up towards that top side of the map. But I think due to the fact that they've picked the Lucian, they've created more strong lanes they can play for if they want to. Now this does come with a disadvantage. Sometimes if there's a strong lane that's suddenly being put in a weak side position, they can fall very much behind. Specifically, the Gnar into Renekton is traditionally a Gnar counter matchup, but if Gnar falls behind that trajectory, it's really easy for Renekton to all of a sudden change that matchup around. And yeah, there's more tools. I definitely say on the side of Galaxy Racer to play for that top side, but I'm actually expecting them, because of the Lucian pick, to put it towards the bottom side.
I mean, with Dragon spawning on the map, you might want to put a little bit more onus on this one. It will be the Infernal to start us off today, and looks like Resolve have heard me, and they're just hanging around, clearing out vision, and maybe preparing to start this one up.
Yeah, so here's the thing about wave pressure as well. It kind of works like a pendulum. So whenever you push the pendulum forward, you get some time to work with. And as soon as that minion wave has crashed, it's inevitably going to slow push and stack towards you again. And thus the pendulum is swinging back to your side, giving the enemy some time to move. So right now, Resolve with their pendulum, they didn't actually have much priority in mid lane. But the fact that they caught Tipper off guard when he reset, and the fact that Chimera was able to get the vision, and they, rather pressure in the mid lane, the fact that they instantly go for a Drake play there is really intelligent by them, because after this, they're not going to have much priority in the mid lane again. They used the small window they had to make use of getting an objective.
I really like that analogy, actually, the idea of pendulum. We see this quite a lot in some mid-game team fights where the winning team resets and then they lose out on the dragon or another small objective on the reset because they've all gone back and the remaining members respawn, get onto the map a little bit faster from the losing team. But you have to hold that point. Soft is moving forward, fast leg dives on through, can't find anything, teleport behind, means that Resolve need to have a second thought, but they're actually going to be engaging directly onto Soft. He gets exhausted, goes over the wall, but he's going to be followed through. First blood going over to Jakey. They get the shot down onto a tube, but he is long safe by now. No ultimate from Rumble means the dive is probably not on, but excellent first play from Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, it completely is then. That TP from Tipper, he's not going to lose much because he has the infinite prior towards the mid lane. So he's not actually losing a single minion. You can see the minimap. He's actually making his way towards the minion wave. And the turret only crashed just now. So even though he devoted a TP, he didn't actually lose anything. And that's how the Jace Akali matchup is supposed to go. You don't use the counter matchup for kill pressure. You use the counter matchup for pressure in your side lanes.
Can't try to get some pressure onto this Sculler Crab. Going to try and steal it away from Soft, but he is there. Can he get the smite down? Yes, he can. Caleb on the top side. Now the Rat might be in trouble. Going to be trying to run away. Where's the stun? There it is, but the Gnar going very, very low. One more slice will be enough. The flash to secure it. The Dominus as well, as Caleb picks up the first kill for Resolve.
And there we go once again. Galaxy actually got a kill towards the bottom side. I think Fastlook maybe went a bit too far forward. He knew Gottmonk has back, but I don't think he anticipated Jake is still being there. But it kind of goes back to what we talked about, Viperoon. If you put your resources towards the bottom side of the map, yes, Gnar in the top side traditionally is a counter to the Renekton. But this time around, with Soft being up there for the Scuttle, with Kalem getting a kill onto the Gnar, this could very easily turn around. You can see Kalem actually a level ahead. Huge wave just lost from Kakan as well. He will get back to pick some of it up, but it's still a lead over to this Renekton. He's also going to be getting 2 plates off that exchange.
And I mean, Jamada talked about this one, the strength of the top side for Resolve, their 2 solo laners and their jungler, in these early stages is going to be absolutely terrifying. And now that Gnar has fallen a kill behind, he needs to be even more careful. Doesn't have flash either, so return ganks are going to be even more spooky. And Resolve, they know that their top side's firing all cylinders right now, because they've moved to this first Rift Herald on the spawn pretty much, and they're going to be able to pick it up.
Yeah, and you can see at the same time, Archie kind of forced to back and just clear the junglers instead, because right now they don't have vision off Jakey. Oh, this could be dangerous. Archie doesn't have smite because he's an AD carry.
Wendell coming on through. Can he find the Zenith Blade? No, he can't. The ultimate coming down, the red carpet, and the snipe from Tibor, picking up his first kill of the game.
Oh, and I like the setup. Archie knows some of the spells from the exchange earlier down towards the bottom side of the map. They catch him out with an equalizer, and Tibor, like, actually shooting fish in a barrel for once. An old analogy that's been very overused, but this time around, quite fitting.
Absolutely. Gets his first kill and the red buff that was stolen away as well. Just reclaiming that one for Galaxy Racer, and he's going to get a decent amount of damage. Chimera has been doing okay in this lane so far. A little bit behind in gold, a little bit behind in the minions. But now with this red buff on Jace, it's going to be even harder to get any kind of pressure there.
Yeah, but there's not really much you can do. It's just the nature of the matchup, really. Like, you're not supposed to be able to have kill pressure. Akali does well into melees, where she's able to kind of proc her 5-punch strike, get the passive in there. You can't really do that against Jace. So for Chimera, he's only really going to get online as soon as he gets that Rift Maker, as soon as these skirmishes start to break out. And we talk about Galaxy Racer's composition. They needed to get ahead early. Oh, top side.
Gotta go for a bit of a scuffle. 2v2 in the top side. The Dominus was popped. Renekton not feeling super comfortable. Wendell's coming up as well, though. Soft might be in a lot of trouble here. Gonna be hit up with the Zenith Blade. There's the ultimates being used. The Gnar into the wall. And Resolve, they've got members coming up, but it's just not soon enough. The Akali might be in trouble. Dodges away from the Leona ultimate and the snipe this time round with the flash. But now Kylam might be in trouble. No Dominus available. He goes down to see fast leg kick of Mera get away. 2 kills for Galaxy Racer. They turn the fight top.
Yeah, Galaxy Racer right now, they're just playing the map better, and I mean, it's understandable. They have the most priority. Lucian towards the bottom lane, priority into the Kaiser, and now, without having been part of that fight, he might just get the first turret of the game. Full plating going over to Monk here. This is huge for the Galaxy Racer bot laner.
And it's interesting because Lucian, you consider this kind of early game snowballing champion, wants to be getting kills in lane, but they've been happy to leave Monk all on its own, but it doesn't look like Resolve want to leave him alone. Soft is coming through, teleport in behind. Here's Caleb. Here's the teleport trying to save the Lucian, who's going to be docking, dipping, and diving around, but there's too much damage coming through. What can Kakan do? Absolutely nothing as he watches his marksman die. Jakey's here, looking maybe to get onto Renekton. No ultimate still available, so he's going to go down. 1-4 trade so far. Nice knock up, but Fastlane is a little bit too late. Achu kind of deciding whether he wants to get involved in this fight, decides a little bit too late to, and another ultimate from Rumble secures another kill as they manage to cut down a Chu. Fast leg is not fast enough as Galaxy Racer make it 4. It's all going their way right now.
And we're only 11 minutes into the game, but the gold lead is just exponentially growing for Galaxy Racer. Even though that play happened, Tipple still got a lot of plating down towards the mid lane. Monk, you can see actually on his screen, doesn't actually see the teleport, but the fact they spot 3 members, instantly they decide to TP down with Kaká, almost full on that rage bar, and that is what allows them to continue with this fight. Now, crucially, they didn't have the Mechanol due to the skirmish just beforehand, but fact is that right now the members of Galaxy Racer are just so far ahead, and as soon as Vendel joins the fight and as soon as Equalize is there, nothing Archie could ever do in this situation. Fast like too slow because he's dismounted, and he's just gonna get grilled by the Rumble.
And I said at the beginning of the game, the mid-jungle duo from Galaxy Racer, T-Bor is a monster. It's all about him, but I was trolling a little bit. Look at Jakey's score right now, 5-0-4. He's been involved in everything his team has been doing, and his team has been doing so many things well. As you mentioned, every time Equalizes up, which is just come off cooldown, something incredible happens for this team. So keep your eyes on Rumble, where he decides to get a lead next.
And that's the thing, like, Jakey's been doing this ever since promotion games of Telia Masters as well, just before this split started. He was always a jungler we knew we needed to keep our eyes on, and once again, he proves it this time against Soft, who's, you know, kind of veteran in our scene already, like a famous name in the jungle. Towards the bottom, Rift Herald has been popped, but I think it's only just to use it. I think it was coming off cooldown as well, and it's been used just to get some gold into Calum here, but what can Galaxy Racer get on the other side of the map? Drake is not going to spawn for a couple of minutes, and plates actually are still up and available for 1 more minute, but it just doesn't feel like that, you know? It feels like we've at least gone past that point, just because of all the rotations we see come through from Galaxy Racer, just because of all these team fights we've already had.
Galaxy Racer just weren't interested in laning phase this game. They were like, nah, we're just going to move around, we're going to get kills, we're going to skirmish, and it's all going to be good. And it has all been good for them so far. 6,000 gold in the lead at 13 minutes. And as you say, they can make plays for more plates if they're quick about it. It looks like JK and Wendell coming into top side. They want to get onto Chimera. He has got some support this time around as he dives away. Wendell actually a launch of the Equalizer has come down. Will it be enough? Leona jumps over the wall to freedom. And everyone from Galaxy Racer gets away. They don't get to make a play under the tower, but they don't lose any members either.
No, they don't. And less than 1 minute, second Herald is going to be up and available. That's going to be crucial if you already want to accelerate the lead, where right now in the gold league Galaxy Racer has created, can surely do that quite confidently. Fastleg, I think he just have that mount over, or crash down to get over the wall rather. Chimera is kind of low, but I feel like right now, Galaxy Racer is just going to commit to a play to get more vision onto the enemy jungle, create better setups for potentially a mid lane turret, or for a reset, just because this Rift Herald I talked about is spawning.
The ultimate being burnt there by Wendell on the Leona, not able to catch out a Chew this time around, but Monk more than happy just to chip away out of that mid tower. Once you can get that objective down, the map opens up for you, and it's not like Galaxy Racer haven't been able to get a couple of deep wards down. If you look at your mini maps down there, look at that red ward in that bot side jungle. Catching out the Zins out on his buff, and he has no idea it's there.
Exactly. They can commit to whatever play they really want to. Like, Jakey could just start up the Rift Herald after taking this Scuttle, because you talked about it yourself. They have all the intel they need onto Soft. Even if Galaxy Racer wanted to, they don't have TP on Caleb to join the 5. Soft is on the other side of the map, and I think they'll just have to forfeit this objective once more.
Of course, Resolve got the first Rift Herald, which is usually considered the more important one. Fastleg just hanging around, but won't really be able to get a steal against the jungler, and doesn't have anyone else on Resolve wanting to get involved in that play, so it's going to go down quite easily to Jakey. So keep your eyes where they decide to use that battering ram, and probably won't be the mid lane on this tower at least, because Monk is about to secure it.
But the problem right now is, or not rather problem for Galaxy Racer, they've already taken care of all the outer turrets. Like, usually with the second Herald, when you get to this point in the game, mid lane is still standing. It's usually used as a tool to get priority for the next Drake, but this time around, I don't think they have to do it. They already have so much pressure accelerated onto the map, and the fact that they could just get Drake, reset, create 1-3-1 composition again with Kakan in the side and tip it down towards the bottom. Mid lane, obviously, with Monk and Vendel, they can just get pressure in the mid lane, move that pressure to a side lane, and just instantly dive someone. They have all the tools to do it. They have the poke, and they have an Equalize on very short cooldown to just make really good use of this Rift Herald.
So it's a case of whether they want to charge it through, whether they want to draw some pressure. That dragon you mentioned is up in 45 seconds, going to be a mountain for our soul today. Is there either of these teams that really prefers this dragon to the other?
I mean, Mountain Drake is always nice into the early game, just because, like, when teams don't have too many resistances just yet. It's kind of hard to cut through when you have no items. The later you get into the game, a lot of carries won't actually itemize into the armor, so the percentage armor you get is kind of going to be nullified by more items. But right now for Galaxy Racer, it's great to have, just because you can already see the inventory of Resolve. It's not up to par with Galaxy Racers. And that does mean that if they're able to stack up these Mountain Drakes, it's just going to be even harder for Resolve to find leverage back into this game, because their items are not going to do as much damage as they potentially could have had in a more even situation. And here we get, they're not even going for the Drake, they're just going to open up the mid lane turret here, and they can just do it. Like, they're just collapsing here. They can get this turret, leave the inhibitor because they don't need it yet, and then just move on to the Drake.
Caleb's looking to get involved though. Strikebreaker's forward, can't find Jakey. The tower does stand on a sliver of health, but now Galaxy Racer moving towards that bot side. They've got support. Kakan is there already working on that in the tower and is looking to maybe get engaged. Gets the stun down, but will attack a few tower shots on the way out. Seemingly not on the same page as the rest of his team, but going to be able to get away nonetheless. So a lot gained from that Rift Herald, but the Dragon's still on the map.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and it just feels like Galaxy Racer, they don't really see it win condition, they see it as there is other resources they'll be able to get on the map, like the mid lane turret we just saw, like the bot lane that is sieging right now, and then they're potentially just going to use Drake as the next objective. They don't have to do much here. They can go for the reset, one guy can solo Drake, and they can just get back on the map and keep doing what they do here. Next objective after this Drake is going to be the Baron, and with the pressure they've already accelerated on the map, I think it's only going to be a matter of time when it's spawned for Galaxy Racer to just kind of bait Resolve into a situation. And when that situation arises, they need to be ready with their item to actually go for that last fight. Crucially, Akali did finally pick up a Riftmaker. Mythics has come through from all of the people at Resolve.
I was going to say, now, we spoke a little bit in the early game about how these two teams can win, and the Desk did as well, and we said that Galaxy Racer was more of this snowballing side. Now, Gulberg, if you're a Galaxy Racer fan, at this stage in the game, you've got to be pretty happy with how the snowball's going so far, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is why they wanted to snowball, because they need to be items ahead of the composition from Resolve. Resolve composition is so easy to execute, but right now with Galaxy Racers just being items ahead, it does not matter that it's easier to execute, because they're just stylistically with that wall, with that money behind, there's not much they can do, but they are looking for a little bit of a cheese onto Tipper here.
You also need to be careful on the bottom of your screen. His damage coming down. He flashed away from the Leona ultimate. They have caught out Tibor, and he will go down. The shutdown going in on to Soft, who's going to chase forward. Double teleport coming through. Wendell needs to be careful. Lower than a half health. No ultimate available, but Kakan is now here. Jakey gets executed for the shutdown from Chimera, and this time around, it's all about Resolve. Kakan is trying to get away. Wendell over the wall, trying to stay hidden. Going to try to get the center plate over. Won't be able to do so, taking damage from Achu. He'll go down. So does Monk. And Kakan, the last man standing. Resolve, all five still there. And Gulberg, that's not how that fight's meant to go.
No, it's most definitely not. Shutdown gold going over to a lot of important people here. Really nice and creative cheese to come out from Resolve, because we talked about it. They don't beat them in a 5-on-5, but they can try to get a pick and then continue the fight with a man advantage, and that's exactly what they did. And as we take a look onto the replay, I like they're waiting for Tipper to just walk forward. I like they're giving him some extra time before they want to solidify the deal here. And then as soon as he's dead, the rest of Galaxy Racer just has to play on their back foot. They have to get the hell out of here. But the TP has already come through for Kakan. They're fancying themselves a fight in a position where they just don't have the numbers to win out on it.
And then it's just a clean up job from there. Wendell doing his best to stay incognito over the other side, but gets caught out at the end. And okay, now you're a Resolve fan. We're looking at this game. They've closed the gold lead. There's still quite a significant one for Galaxy Racer, but they're now much closer to picking up those two items. When we get to another fight, when we start looking at stuff like Baron, which is now on the menu for both of these teams, how do Galaxy Racer turn this gold lead that they've got into a win? Because clearly team fighting isn't the way.
I definitely still think can, and they're just looking for it.
Soft needs to be a little bit careful. Half health, but engage. Coming off from Renekton. He's going to slice right out, though. Soft needs to be careful. Caught by the Equalizer and does go down. Resolve are going to be retreating towards their tower, but they've been caught out on the wall. There goes Achu, and Galaxy Racers proving that they can team fight. Last one was just a blip. It was one mistake, and now the inhibitor is going to pay the price. Galaxy Racers don't want to force for anything more. It's 21 minutes, and they're moving towards the Baron.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm very confident they're still beating out in team fights. Their only reason they won before was because of Resolve creativity in fighting that one pick. But that was kind of a miracle. Like, you need to be able to create at least 2 more of those miracles. And with Galaxy Racer just winning out on that team fight, with them looking to pick up this Baron, that window for doing that is becoming lesser and lesser as we speak.
It's a very small window at this stage. Chimera wasn't interested in trying to be that miracle maker. Everyone moving away from the Baron. So Baron on 5 members of Galaxy Racer. What do we want to see from this? Actually, we're going to go to a replay. Let's have a look at this fight again.
Yeah, so once again, the team fighting very much is in the favor of Galaxy Racer. The fact that they're not able to single down a single member from the side of Resolve kind of just ends your deal before the fight even begun. And as soon as Archer is out of the picture, you don't have that reliable backline damage. Chimera is the only one who could potentially be there, but was not in a position to get onto the backline. And for Resolve right now, you kind of want to stall out the game. There's not going to be too many important objectives up. Yes, there is a 3rd Mountain Drake going up in just 1 minute. But fact is right now that you're realistically speaking just going to lose that. And it's not going to matter too much. It's not going to be the sealing deal in winning or losing this game. So create that defensive vision. Make sure you can siege or defend the siege under your base. And just get that 2nd item. As soon as you have that, you've won a fancier fight. Yes, Galaxy Racer is still going to be having a lead. But it's your best shot that you got. And you need to take the percentages whenever you have them.
Already 2 items on that top laner, but the rest are playing catch-up for Resolve. As you say, it looks like they're not going to be contesting too much. They try to get as much vision as possible. Wendell making sure it's dark in that bot side jungle. These towers outside the base won't be standing too long as Galaxy Racer look to crash in on the bot side, but Resolve, you've got to hope that they can defend with some objectives helping them out. Will this inhibitor be enough? It's already gone to half health. They've already abandoned it as it will fall. 2nd inhibitor going to go down in this bot side. You can see on the top side, Kylan's already recalling. He wants to get back to defend his base. Galaxy Racer don't have the hugest minion waves, but with supers crashing in mid, this could be the push.
This could most definitely be the push. I think they have every resource they need. We're looking onto Chimera and Soft, or Archie rather. They need to get the key picks on the backline. But right now, they're still not fancying that fight. They just want to try and clear the waves.
Yeah, stop half health. Caleb already uses the dominance. Godmonk just going to be culling through, get some health bars low, and help his team take the bottom Nexus tower. Chimera dives in, gets exhausted, gets half health, gets damage, but does manage to get back out. Soft looking for damage. There's the equalizer. Watch the Kali. She shows so low. Can she get back to the fountain? Yes, she can. But the team fight has been kicked off fast. Like goes to the engage. But there's nothing he can do. Chimera goes golden in the zone, but it's all about Galaxy Racer. They're ripping up the fight. Resolve 1 by 1. They go down. Don't manage to pick up anyone but Timor once again. And this time the pick on the mid laner was not enough. 24 minutes, dominant fashion. Galaxy Racer pick up the win.
You said it yourself. Dominant fashion for sure coming into this one. Minor hiccups still coming out, but I think you can more attribute that to Resolve actually finding some nice picks despite them being down. But yeah, Galaxy Racer with apparently was the upset this one. I see that a lot of the desk here actually voted on to Resolve for this one. Yeah.
You know, the UK bias might be a little strong. We don't know. But I mean, coming into this one, form wasn't in favor at all. But we're going to jump to a short break. And when we come back, the desk is going to be able to break down that one-sided victory. We'll see you in a few minutes.